I'm looking at the compositions that we got as we actually move on to Summoner's Rift for the first game of the day. I'm looking bot lane. That is where my eyes are peeled because you got Lucian, Nami. That can't be slow, can it?
I mean, I think it's kind of like the two sides of the coin right here. And it's really funny how Gulbok also said the name Azita instead of hypercarries, instead of Jinx, instead of Aphelios, right? Because he's literally tied to all of these kinds of hypercarries. And this time he's got the Aphelios in his hands. Now, the major problem that we had with the NYYRIKKI bot lane, even though Aztor is up there to like compete with the top 80 carries we've always had in the league in the NLC, is the fact that his laning phase isn't always that strong. So if Azita gets out of laning phase safe, yes, he can hyper carry and he can carry the entire game for his team. But then if you look on the other side, we have Venzer and FGG on a very aggressive bot lane, like you mentioned as well. My only question mark here will be, we saw this sort of bot lane when they were playing, I think it was Tristana and Rel last week for JDXL, and they found it so difficult to actually make that aggression work towards the bot side of the map, because, ladies and gentlemen, 12.10. We're playing on 12.10 right now, which means the towers deal a lot of damage, and the champions are not as squishy anymore. So you've got a Nautilus down there as well, who is very extremely tanky. So I just want to see what the Venzer and FTG can actually do in this early game. You see, Venzer is actually sporting the Ignite as well. So I'm expecting very aggressive plays towards the bot side of the map.
Absolutely. The heal, of course, covered up by the Nami. And I'm very, very interested to see how they play into this. Because as you mentioned, Aztor, this feels like the patch of his dreams, where you can be a bit anonymous in laning phase. He never really goes too far down. He never really loses hard bot lane. But his numbers aren't, well, his numbers are good, but the impact he has isn't necessarily the strongest in the world. There's already a little bit of back and forth between these lanes. Of course, we know that Lucian Nami, very, very potent in those trades. I'm going to keep my eyes a little bit on the jungle as well, because we were looking at the analysts, talking about the drafts there.
They're not there anymore.
Well, they've gone, but I pointed to
Look at the
analysts. I just missed their faces. But I'm a little bit concerned for JDXL.
Oh.
Actually, we've got an engage coming on through. FGG's in a lot of trouble here. The aggression was meant to be by JDXL, but it looks like it's NYYRIKKI. Aztor's the one pulling the trigger as they move towards Venzer now, but he's a little bit near to his tower. Don't know if they're going to have the damage as FGG moves back in. The exhaust comes down onto Venzer. Aztor goes down the first blood. JDXL with the turnaround, and they're going to look towards Abagnale. He's going to be able to get himself a little bit further away and should be too tanky, but that one did not work out for NYYRIKKI.
Okay, I think this was like a very classic JDXL bot lane where like Venzer and FTG are miscalculating the damage right there, they're miscalculating the experience, and it's actually NYYRIKKI coming up with a level 2 and instant engage by Abagnale. I think FTG played this really well to sort of separate from Venzer completely and move towards the top side of the map, and dodge, and of course the Q from Aphelios was the nail in the coffin actually, because then Venzer could turn it around with that Ignite. So really well played right there from JDXL. FTG redeeming himself after getting caught after the level 2, and now it's the Lucian, 17 CS, almost 10 CS ahead at this point, having that kill extra in his pocket, and maybe now we could see some of these dives that we've been looking for getting realized later on once this Lucian has a bunch more items versus the Aphelios.
Absolutely, getting that early first kill is always so great in an aggressive bot lane, and hey, when the opponents are doing the aggressiveness for you, it's just a win-win, isn't it?
Now, the problem is that you're still playing Nami if you're FGG.
Yeah.
And this time you don't have flash, you don't have heal anymore, you have none of these evasive summoners to help you. So if that Nautilus hook hits again, I think FGG might be in very deep trouble. And as you can see here, Venza is also playing a little bit aggressive. Dan is also pathing towards the bottom map, potentially to shadow him, while they're trying to shove in that wave. I don't think we're looking into a dive yet. I would say you're looking for level 6. If you're playing Shyvana, you want your Dragon form to be able to have that extra mobility as well to tank the tower.
Absolutely. And speaking of Dan, I'm just looking at how these two compositions are going to want to play. We had some discussions while we were seeing the drafts and a little bit before about how JDXL like to play, because we're already convinced with NYYRIKKI on this patch. We know, hey, you guys are great, brilliant, kings of the patch, don't tell X7. But JDXL, we haven't necessarily been fully convinced every time they step onto the Rift, and it looks like they've drafted full AD.
I think this is the JDXL phenomenon right here. Oh my god,
he's already dead, and Flipper's just passing through. There's no gank to be had.
Wait, I was about to say this is the JDXL bot lane phenomenon, where level 3, level 4, Venzer and FTG will overextend and then they die. But I think this Lucian Nami combo is just so powerful that even when you're playing something as tanky as Nautilus, you really take a beating if you walk too close to the Lucian. And because if they didn't time it correctly with Flipper coming down for that gank, they lose yet another kill. 2-0 right now onto Venza. 15 CS up onto that Aphelios. They're gonna get the first Dragon off the game as well, giving stats over to Shyvana too from the passive. So that's a really good potent start from JDXL.
It's exactly what they needed, exactly what they wanted.
Exactly what the doctor prescribed.
Exactly, and now we're going to see them going back. What's Solution going to be able to pick up? Because that's a lot of AD in the bank right now, and the more power you get, the stronger you become.
Right, back to the question as well, or we might have a little bit more action here. As MNS, oh, he uses stun, and there's 3 people mid.
Be a little bit careful, rooted up by Abagnale, and of course you can see the Viego's coming through as well. MNS trying to get away, but there's just no route out. It's Flipper with the kill.
That flash was very ambitious by MNS. I'm not sure where exactly he was trying to go, but 3 members mid. Abagnale straight from the grey screen into mid lane to try and punish MNS, and I think MNS, if you will, has been one of our question marks when it comes to JDXL, because this guy is extremely competent when it comes to knowing his limits in a 1v1, knowing a bunch of these matchups that we don't even know about, all of these weird champions that he's bringing to mid lane, like the Kaisers and the Aphelios that he brought last split, the Zeris and all that. He knows the limits of each matchup so freaking well. Now, what the problem is here, that we've seen a lot of the times MNS overextending, trying to go for the kill, trying to go for the trade, and that's exactly what he did on Aero right there, getting capitalized on instantly by Flipper and Abagnale, making that way towards the mid side of the map. And this also sometimes will stop a lot of the initiative that your team has, right? When there's a plan going down and your mid laner dies, it sort of slows down the plan, he takes down the tempo.
Absolutely, and when you've not necessarily drafted a competition or you need to be around other lanes, so for example in this game, the aggression is down on that bot side. We know that JDXL have historically struggled a little bit at level 3. Not this game, obviously. They're doing exceptionally well.
It looked like it, but it was turned around.
Yeah, that's fine. They were like, oh no, call an ambulance, but not for me.
Oh, that was great. I forgot about that one.
As they just turn around, just Venza's face rising up from behind the car. But yeah, it can be a little bit concerning, and of course, that could be somewhere where NYYRIKKI could look to capitalize, because they've got this Ari Viego combination, AD, AP, or it looks pretty nice, and now Flipper might be trying to make a way down towards the bot side, because as you can see, the priority, the pressure, it's just going to be with Venza and FGG, but it looks like they might have sniffed something out, because they're being very defensive.
Yeah, and Flash just came up for FGG as well, so he would be able to potentially flash an anchor if Abagnale threw one his way. But as you can see, because Dan is on the top side of the map, I think FGG and Venza have to really respect the fact that they don't have any jungle assistance towards the bot side of the map, and you also do not know where Flipper is at this current state. And they're going to shove in the wave. Colin came up. It's a really great way to poke and also push. But now, oh my god!
The tower, that's really aggressive. Flipper's already there. It's the shutdown going on to Viego. Abagnale moving forward, trying to get towards FGG, of course. They've already taken down Azator and FGG. There you go, there's the flash utilized as he does get away.
So here's the thing, that was a trade 1-for-1, but why does that actually benefit JDXL? If you look towards the bot side of the map, 22 CS up for Venza. Right before this fight went down, Venza had shoved an entire wave underneath Azator's tower. Azator got none of this, and he dies. So he loses experience, he loses in gold, Venza is an entire level up, and also Dan is able to make a play towards the top side, getting that Rift Herald, might not get out of his life.
Arrow is there, the damage coming on through. Can Dan pick up the eye? Yes, he can flash the way towards Christ. He's going to put down the ultimate, but Banderas is there as well. Flipper is on a killing spree as Christ might be caught out. MNS dives on through into the brain. It's a double kill for the Viego as MNS is trying to get some work. Abagnale moves in. No, you can't 1v4 there as it's NYYRIKKI who take him down. Triple kill for Viego.
Flipper has been in 5 out of 5 kills for his team, and he has cashed in on all 5 of them, baby. 5-0 onto that Viego as well. He's most definitely gonna have Sandura when he goes back to base, and now this Viego is becoming a really huge problem, right? Because even though we saw the trade being positive for JDXL towards the bot side of the map, NYYRIKKI took these death timers and instantly threw them towards the top side of the map. They knew that the Rift was going down, but because Dan was doing it on his own, he was very slow. Aero was able to push in the wave. He's the first one in River over MNS, and then they ended up taking them down. The only saving grace right here is that, of course, yes, JDXL do manage to get the Rift, but look at the top side of the map. Azator has already transitioned towards the top. He's taken 2 of these turret platings, and then Flipper, Sandura, 9 minutes in. This is going to be huge for NYYRIKKI.
This is absolutely massive for the Finnish team. And for me, I was talking to a couple of coaches earlier. I was talking to Jamada actually when we were in Div 2. And one of the signs of a really good team, especially on patches like this, when a play is happening, when one of the teams pulls the trigger, look at the mini-map on the other side of the map. What are they doing? We saw JDXL going for that Rift Herald. That was quite a nice call, but then it went wrong for them. But NYYRIKKI, they're so quick to just go in, adapt, and say, look, we know what's happening here. We're going to go get 2 plates on our marksman who is a little bit behind. And that is going to be proving to be massive for them. Because yes, Flipper is a monster, but is he going to be able to carry this game on his own shoulders? No, he's going to need the team around him, and that's exactly what NYYRIKKI are trying to facilitate.
Sure, and if we take some flashbacks back to Spring 2021 in the LEC, Inspire was able to pentakill. First pentakill in the LEC for a jungler, I believe it was, with Viego. So if there's one champion you can possibly playmake with, that is going to be this champion. You grab one of the souls, you grab Aurelia, there's so much playmaking potential. You grab Lucian, there's so much playmaking potential to do there. So there's definitely the chance for Flipper to make the plays for his team. Now I'm looking on the other side of the map and all of the money is on Venza.
So much damage comes through. Flipper picks up another one as he secures the kill.
Viego is stronger. That was the conclusion right there. All the money's on Venza, but Viego is stronger. 6-0 for Flipper right now. He's holding 100% of his team's kills. Jimenez.
He's on the tower on his own. Going to be able to get the stun up, but it's Nautilus who's tanking the tower. He might actually be in trouble because remember these tower shots do a whole lot more. Jimenez dives away, securing the kill as he goes. They will lose tower plates, but they do grab the kill.
He does grab the kill, so that's the best of the worst situation, but Azitor has cashed in on more than this Rift Herald is going to be able to give over to JDXL, unless Venza somehow manages to secure the mid lane tower right here. Aero has no mana.
Under the tower, there needs to be careful. Teleport coming on through, but I think Aero will be dead on arrival. The charm, the flash, that's really clean from Ari, as Danis needs to be so careful. Banderas won't be able to get the knock up as Venza dives away. Cries will get the assassination with the ultimate, but it's just going to be that one kill.
Okay, we said 12.10 is not the patch for action.
This patch is slow, I don't understand.
This patch is slow, everyone sits underneath the towers, right? But this has been action-packed. We have more than 1 kill per minute. And right now, what happened in the mid lane is that Venza got 3 tower platings from that Rift Herald, but the tower did not end up going down. And if you look at towards the top side of the map, I think Azitor managed to almost get that tower. I think there's like 1 tower plating left, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he says number 1. I can see that much. There's 1 tower plating left, which means that the time investment, the fight that they lost, the 5 kills they gave over to Flipper was worth it at this point for NYYRIKKI because Azitor fell behind in lane, but they've managed to move him around the map and keep him safe enough to try and cash in on all this money he's fallen behind on.
And what did we say about Azitor? He can be a little bit anonymous in lane, but he picks up massively later. If he's coming out of this laning stage, yeah, with a few deaths because the aggression was coming through, but if he's coming out even or even slightly behind, late game team fights, this guy's a monster. He's on a Felios, which is going to be doing so much work just as a champion. NYYRIKKI are going to be able to put themselves in an exceptional point. And in late game team fights, or even team fights now, you can't be focusing Azitor, because otherwise Flipper will murder you and everyone you've ever known.
Absolutely, and he's also got the, well, it's still caps, but I call them still caps with an R between, yeah, yeah.
Never forget.
They're a little poopy, but in this point, you're playing against triple AD, double auto attackers as well in the Aurelia and the Lucian, so there's going to give you a lot of value from these as well. And I just really love the fact that on speedrun Anathema's chains, which I'm expecting are gonna go onto Venza. So the second this on jumps onto Venza and he's putting that damage reduction onto him, it's going to be huge for that on to be able to sort of push away the only fed member so far from the side of JDXL and then maybe allow Azitor to do his magic in this fight.
He's transitioning back towards watching bot lane. We've done an awful lot of that this game already, as you can see members kind of congregating around Dragon. It's not going to be there for another minute and a half. JDXL have been exceptionally good with the Shyvana. Obviously, you want to be securing those dragons and have been able to do just that. Mountain Dragon will be the one on the menu for these two teams, and both teams will want to start picking their ones up. But it's around third Dragon when we often start talking about wanting to see those first major skirmishes.
Really quickly and really important right then. 1 minute 25 seconds, as you mentioned, for the Dragon. There is no teleport for Banderas, as Abagnale has been the target.
Yeah, he's going to be focused down, goes very, very low, the exhaust, but here's Dan, shoots at him and will be able to secure the kill. Well, actually, FGG secures the kill as the fire goes wide, but it looks like JDXL will be able to get the priority they were looking for and secure themselves a tower.
That bot lane has been the recipient of a lot of action and aggression from the side of JDXL. And I think putting Venza ahead is a really nice plan to have, especially when you drafted that Lucian and Nami really high up on your list. And then on the other hand, for NYYRIKKI, B1 on the Viego, 6-0 so far with the Sandra. We need to actually see Flipper come to life further on these team fights. Back to the Dragon, 45 seconds, and Banderas does not have the teleport available. Cries, TP up, ultimate up, and I'm thinking that NYYRIKKI might actually give up on the third Dragon, give Soul Point to JDXL, maybe try to push a little bit in the mid lane with that Rift Herald that Flipper just got in his pocket, and then maybe fight later on for that Soul Point. But seeing Dan also towards the top side of the map, I'm not sure if...
I'm just keeping an eye on where they want to be playing for, because it was very quick from Banderas to start wandering himself down towards the Dragon, and it looks like NYYRIKKI is trying to...
It's a Fnatic bush.
NYYRIKKI, are you going to find anyone? Are you going to... It doesn't look like JDXL are actually going to be going through that direction. They just want to take control of the mid lane for now, but Dan, be careful.
So the thing is, right here, if you're JDXL and you don't have any vision, you want to mostly walk through that middle bush that you see Dan going towards right now, but FTG's going to walk the wrong way.
FTG go in there, no, the flash goes through. That's an excellent read from Abagnale, and that's going to be the assassination onto FGG, but they managed to get the tidal wave off first. NYYRIKKI now going to move towards this Dragon JDXL, but they don't need to hugely fight this. Eminez is behind, maybe looking for an assassination. The Irelia could run rampant if she gets going. Eminez just hanging out back there, but the chance going to land on the Cries is going to be able to eat an orange and move back. NYYRIKKI will start the Dragon. Is Eminez going to be able to do anything here? They look for the anchor, can't find the fishing rod this time around. Eminez gets the ultimate onto two. He can look to dance with the fight, but he needs to be very, very careful. It goes low, but JDXL are ripping through the fight. The Dragon is secured by NYYRIKKI, but they're sent running as Aero's the only survivor.
Cries with the huge damage through the barrels, absolutely ripping through everyone's HP bar. Yes, NYYRIKKI managed to take away Soul Point from JDXL, but at what cost? And FTG right there chooses the wrong route to walk from, gets completely assassinated by what has been used so far. There is no Nautilus ultimate, there is no Ahri ultimate, or an ultimate has been already used. And as you will see on the top side of your screen, Aero is using the last two remaining charges of the ultimate to try and catch Cries, who has the fruit, cleanses the taunt, and gets away. So all the crucial ultimates have been used. Flash, Hex Flash from Abagnale as well. And look at that huge barrel combo in the middle. Boom! Everyone gets absolutely assassinated by Cries.
And for NYYRIKKI, you've got to ask if it was worth it, because losing so many members, allowing JDXL to take the kill lead like that is going to be a little bit worrying for them, and giving over so much gold into the hands of Venza once again, and of course Eminez.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I feel like, because Flipper had a huge shutdown on his head as well, and I'm looking at every single member, and unless Nami got the shutdown, which FTG did not, because he already had one kill, whoever that shutdown landed on, it's so much worth it, because all four other members of JDXL except the Nami are playing on carries right now.
And you can see the gold leads across the board as well. And even Flipper, who's been playing exceptionally well, we talked about what impact he's having, isn't massively far ahead of Dan on the other side, because while aggressive plays have been made by the Viego, Dan has been very effective at farming up and getting objectives around the map. You can see that by the two early Dragons. Aero's going fishing. He needs to be a little bit careful. Can't find the charm, though, as Dan is going to be forced to ult away. It's nice to see NYYRIKKI still trying to keep this aggression going, but you've got to imagine, is this the best decision?
That is two ultimates used right there. Eminez is pushing one side lane, Cries is pushing the other. Banderas had to TP down bot.
And Banderas is going to be clearing up down here, as you mentioned. It's just going to be stopping that push from coming through. But I'm a little bit worried about NYYRIKKI, because they look so good, and technically, individually, I think they've looked pretty strong this time around. But JDXL, as we're getting into the team fighting, as we're getting into the slightly later stages, they've grown into this game. We said at the beginning, oh, we might get another solo kill for Eminez, as they're actually going to dive away as Dan is here to assist. But JDXL, they haven't always looked super convincing at every stage, but they always seem to win the League of Legends game.
Yeah, I feel like the early game stage is not the cleanest, especially since we saw Venza and FTG on such a strong bot lane, but then there were a bunch of hiccups where FTG is walking where he shouldn't, they don't respect the Nautilus very much, Flipper is down the bot side of the map, and then we see Dan getting caught at Rift Herald, so Eminez pushing too far mid, so again, XL are undefeated so far, but they haven't necessarily been very dominant in every game they have won. So NYYRIKKI still have that Aphelios in the back of their pocket. Yes, that Aphelios is about 2,500 gold behind. That is a problem, and he is 0-4 right now, but he's trying to catch up, and once he has 2 to 3 items, if he's allowed to get to 2 or 3 items, because, mind you, they stalled for that Soul Point, and they took the Dragon away, they're allowing that Aphelios to farm a little bit more. Now, when it comes to team fights, when you have such a short-range comp, such as JDXL, it is so important to have ultimates like the Nami ult and the Gangplank ult to either separate members of NYYRIKKI and pick them apart, or bunch all of your AoE together, which is what happened in the previous fight at the Dragon.
Absolutely, and if they're able to catch up multiple members, then it will be really, really great for them, because if NYYRIKKI can just stay back a little bit, maybe get some poke off, maybe just stay a little bit more defensive, then they're going to be able to run over team fights with champions that do go very well late. You've got the Aphelios, as we've talked about so much. The Viego is a monster when he gets going, and he's definitely going with that scoreline. And Banderas as well is going to be pumping everyone up with these ornaments.
Yeah, but this will take a little bit to get there. This is why I'm a little bit concerned, right? The Aphelios only has one item and a BF sword, whilst on the other side, if you look at the Lucian, he's almost at the 3-item mark, and it hurts a lot because you've got the Kraken and you've got the Essence River. You're going to be reaping through HP bars, and at this point, your own is not even that tanky enough. He bought Anathema's Chains to put it onto the Lucian, but it's not just the Lucian that's a threat right now. That GP is giga strong, the Aurelia is very strong. When that Demonic Embrace is going to be built onto the Shyvana as well, she's going to be pretty strong too. So Anathema's Chains, if anything, is making the own weaker right now, rather than if he had maybe something like a Frozen Heart or a Gauntlet.
There's just going to bring down the culling, but the anchor goes wide, so there's no re-engage coming through from NYYRIKKI. And it's interesting looking through those items, as you mentioned, in the bot side, but with the Shyvana checking in, Joanna was talking about what is going to be built up, and it looks like the Frozen Fist has been secured, but maybe a little bit more AP on the side. However, we have to hold that point because Dragon coming up in a couple of seconds' time. NYYRIKKI controlling the river, want to be stopping JDXL from finding British when it wins it up. So point, that's a really nice catch on the damage. Going to have to ult away, but the damage going through now. Abagnale goes so low and will be removed as JDXL take command of the Dragon pit.
And it feels like just the team fighting and their pick potential is just so much better, especially since there's so much gold ahead right there. Vence is going to get caught.
They're going to be knocked up as well. Banderas moving forward. Can he get the kill down? He's got the assistance from Flipper. There's the shutdown, but it goes on to the Ornn. Flipper will get a reset, but dies immediately afterwards. Emnes marauding forward, looking towards the Ornn, chasing NYYRIKKI back. Aztor's too low to assist. Aero probably is too, as Emnes is just going to play bouncer as the rest of the team move to the objective.
Again, it feels like it's not clean, right? Because XL want to secure the Dragon, they want to secure Soul Point, but they just have no vision onto that river. They are very slow with the tempo. They don't get their vision first, but just because they have this composition where they can play aggressive, they're Lucian super far ahead. Dan is tanky enough to get caught by 4 members and not die and ult out, gain extra HP from the Dragon form, and then Eminence and Cries bailing him out together with the Lucian. It feels like the outplay is there, but it feels like the fundamentals are still lacking, and I think we need to keep our eye on to the last Dragon in 4.5 minutes time, because we need to see how JDXL are actually going to approach this macro-wise, right? Pushing down your side lane, push down mid lane, establishing some vision, and not having to face check every single time, and in return maybe losing a kill or two. Talking about losing a kill.
As Tor goes down, Aero is here, maybe going to try and pick Aero. He just finally realised that Emnes is there and will have support coming through from Banderas, so it's going to be a 2v1, but what can Emnes do here? Dancing between the towers, Liquid Stun won't be able to find it as the ultimate from Ari is blown. I think this Aurelia isn't too long for this world, but it's actually dancing through. The minion wave does get shut down eventually by Banderas as Abagnale.
XL are running Baron. XL are running Baron right now. They have an exceptionally fast Baron timer. The Shyvana Lucian Gangplank combo is tearing through that HP bar. Flipper is around, doesn't have his flash available though.
So Flipper might try and get the steal down, but it's going to be very, very dangerous. Ornn has been called. Baron goes super low. He goes to the back of it. He's going to get away. Flipper grabs the Baron. As now we're going to see if the fight, who can get away with the objective. Banderas waddles out. Flipper needs to be careful as Dan moves forward, wanting to get vengeance. One slow might be all it takes, but the charm from Aero could be massive. NYYRIKKI are running to the wind with their objective. They've stolen it away. That's Baron on at least 3 members.
Ooh, the desperation play coming in from JDXL. They're losing Eminence down the bottom side of the map, but NYYRIKKI lose Azator, which is the hyper carry. But guess what right now? Azator is nothing for NYYRIKKI. He doesn't have the items. He's not the hyper carry yet. Aero deals a lot of damage on that Ari. You've got Flipper with 6 kills in his name, 2 items, completed the death stance as well. And Banderas on that Ornn has been a huge mid shield for them. Look at Flipper diving through the back wall of that Baron pit and just steals the Baron away right under Dan's nose right there. That must be so freaking frustrating for XL, losing the mid laner, then losing the Baron. But for NYYRIKKI, this gives them so much life because they can actually push down the lanes, establish some vision, and give Azator a lot of that much needed farm that's going to be pushing towards them.
and it's on 4 members because Astor did manage to secure it as well, respawn just in time, which means that they're going to have so much pushing power and a little bit of combat advantage as well coming through from those stats. So while JDXL have looked dominant when it comes to fights, NYYRIKKI might have just gained a little bit of an edge that they need. My question for you is, with this Baron, do you want to see them be assertive and try and initiate plays, or is it just about stabilizing?
I think it's about stabilizing, right? A lot of the players in the scene, solo queue would call it hurdling. You sort of like slow down the pace, trying to get these items onto your main carriage. You see Death Cap is almost completed for Aeros Ari. You also see Bloodthirst and completed for Azito, which means that he's going to be that much harder to kill. Yes, he deals less damage than if he went a Zeal item second, but that makes him much harder to kill as well. JDXL are going to completely ignore that, but look at the TP flank coming in.
Behind, they want to say is fighting NYYRIKKI, and they've got Abagnale on the side, but he's been caught out by Vision as there's multiple different wards in there. Abagnale going to get stunned up. Eminence has dove onto him, but the ultimate's going to come on through, and now Eminence might be in trouble split from the rest of the team. The team goes super, super low. Will be secured by Banderas, who looks for the knock-up, turns it, only lands it onto Dan, but that might be enough as Azator moves forward. It's multiple members of NYYRIKKI trying to catch up members of JDXL. Kryze does have TP. Will he look for it? The ultimate hasn't been available for this one, and now Banderas is moving forward. But as you said, he can't tank all these members. As Spencer gets the kill onto Abagnale. JDXL, look at the teleport coming in behind. It's in the bush, but it looks like NYYRIKKI are going to step backwards. Kryze is here, though, setting up the barrels. How much damage? He's not going to land it onto anyone, though, as Banderas looks to catch him out. NYYRIKKI are caught in the pincer. Aston needs to be careful, but there comes Flipper, grabbing one, resetting, looking to survive. Will be able to do it with the ultimate. Manages to get 2 and resets again. Kryze is in retreat because he just couldn't take down Banderas as Flipper decides against chasing. That was so close.
Flipper is deciding he is not losing this game. What a performance on that Viego, managing to kill 2 right there. And mind you, every time you pick up the solo of a very squishy support, it's usually a huge bait because all your defenses go down and you're mainly helping your team set up for another kill, land the bubble, land the heal, and all that. But as you can see, MNS chooses the wrong path from his team, which means he ends up going down instantly. Venza with a really turnaround kill right there, but NYYRIKKI are marching in strong as 4 members, and they're waiting now Dan's ultimate as well. Banderas is going to take the flash from FG as well. And whilst all this is going on, Kryze is pushing towards the top side of the map. Venza sees an opening, kills Abagnale again, and now that it's a 3 versus 3, this is where Kryze chooses to TP in. But some really nice footwork from Aston right there is going to get away from all these barrels thrown his way. And Flipper, wait a minute, is that deja vu?
The same location as we come on.
I thought that was deja vu.
It's another replay. I thought they were just going to start again, but we're going to see a call coming through onto Dragon as NYYRIKKI are the ones huddled in the pit, arrow over the back, but all of JDXL are coming down that choke point. They want to try and contest this one because it would be solid. They can secure Banderas, looking for the ultimate, lands it onto 2, but it's not priority members. Kryze actually get knocked up. So much damage goes down on him, but it's still on half health. And there's on the side, looking for Astor as he dives away. Vender's there too. Who will win of the marksman? It's going to be Astor with support of Aero as the fight looks like it's going JDXL's way in the other side, but both carries majorly from NYYRIKKI are still alive. They're looking towards Astor, takes a little bit too much damage. JDXL have confirmed themselves sold, but NYYRIKKI put up a decent fight.
Yeah, and they're pinging down towards the bot side of the map as well. This huge wave down the bot side is going to push for that inhibitor tower as well, if not take it completely. And Soul is going to be secure for the side of JDXL. It looked like a really promising fight actually for NYYRIKKI, getting that huge on ultimate right there. But you just see the power of creating space with the Aurelia ult, with the Gangplank ult, with the barrels, with the Nami ult. There's just so many key components in this fight where even though, again, JDXL's composition is so short range, they're just making it work due to these ultimates, and NYYRIKKI just could not break the streak of the dragons and give the soul away.
And that's going to be pretty mad for JDXL. Now they've got this dragon, they've got those tank stats, but maybe most importantly, we're going to have soul. But this is what we saw last time, and as you mentioned, JDXL just a little bit too good when it comes to scrapping.
Yeah, and as you can see right there, Eminence also is going to walk towards the flank, towards the bot side of the map, but JDXL members are stuck in a choke point, which is the perfect way for Banderas to start this fight with the Ornn ult. You see that Kryze is left behind, he gets knocked up, then Abagnale is going to hit one hook onto him, and then this is where the fight starts. But Venza is playing from the side, and Eminence is dispatching on whoever is on the side, then he chases over Flipper, and then once your jungler is down and Smite is not a thing for you, JDXL will secure the drag themselves. I feel, okay, it was a little bit, now that I'm seeing it again, Venza jumping into 4 members was a little bit of a question mark being because he ends up going down, but let's say
creating space.
Exactly, he's the one that should be created space for, but he was creating the space this time. Good one, Viper.
He just dives on forward. It's going to take both.
He's like, guys, I want to give you what you've been giving me all this game.
He's like, I will be.
I got you. I got you.
Diving forward. And if it takes 2 carries to bring him down,
I am the space now.
he's just one moving gangplank ultimate. He's like, you can't come next to me. I know my team's short range, but I'm keeping you away. And JDXL have actually moved towards this Baron buff. They're starting it up. Members.
Okay, Flipper, eyes on you again.
All right, Flipper, what you got? He's going to be caught out on a ward, but he should be able to clear it out in short order. Dan's like, guys, no.
Not again.
Let's start this fight first, because I don't want to get this stolen away. That would be disastrous. Banderas caught out by Eminence on the side, but he's a little bit tanky, but it's only 1 member. Look at the other part of the fight, though. Dan has the ult, but he's going to throw some fire down, trying to keep Astor away. Banderas is like, please, help me, team. I need some support. The ultimate's going to come through
everything
from the Normans. Banderas is still alive, but he will be cut down eventually. It's Venza with the kill. Era has to go on. Astor on the back, looking to get the damage down, but he can't find too much, but they do manage to get the charm on the first kill. Flipper now on the resets. What can he get? Looking for Dan, but won't be able to find him as he slithers away. No, the red buff secures the kill. As Azator, full health, could move towards this Baron, potentially chasing JDXL away.
What a full chaotic fight from both of these teams, but at the end of the day, if you don't have Smite standing for you, you cannot start a major objective. But you know who has Smite? It is going to be NYYRIKKI, Cries, and FGG. What do you have? Eminence, full HP from the top wave as well, and NYYRIKKI have to actually go back to base and regen some of that HP because I don't think it's worth it throwing the game right here and giving a free Baron away. And honestly, if there's something that I really love about this patch is the fact that it feels like gold leads don't really matter too much. It feels like one objective can turn the entire game around. You secure 1 Baron like NYYRIKKI did before, and you can actually stall the game and try to get more gold and items onto your carries. And suddenly, look at Azator. 3 items in his inventory. He's got the upgraded Gale Force. He's got the Infinity Edge. Look at Aero as well. He's got his Death Cap right there. Just purchased the Magi. This guy is that confident right now. So the damage is there. The items is there. Very similar. I don't think it matters anymore that Venza has an item over on Aphelios because Aphelios is just that big hyper carry. And right there, because he had the Sniper and the Chakram, he was able to play even through the wall.
Absolutely, and as this game ticks on, I know that we need to be careful about using terms like scaling and late game.
Hashtag we scale, boys.
Hashtag we scale. You say that in all of your solo queue games is absolutely fine, but...
I don't play Katarina.
Oh, so you don't do anything?
I don't scale.
Match.
Nah.
Oh, I'm sorry too.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, man.
I play tank, so all I do is scale. For me, it's a case of, I just feel like JDXL have been the team in control most of this game. NYYRIKKI have fought valiantly, but the further this game goes on, I look at NYYRIKKI's composition and I say, hey, one big team fight. We know on this patch that one big team fight can be all it takes, and we've got Elder Dragon up in 1 minute.
I think we didn't notice right there how much Banderas was winning 1 versus 2. It was Eminence plus FGG versus 1 Ornn. Guess who wins, chat? The Ornn!
The problem there is that FGG was there. If it was a solo kill, it would have been Eminence by a long way.
He took Eminence down even on a 1 versus 2. This Ornn is so freaking tanky. He's got the Anathema's chains. He's most likely going to be either on Venza or on Eminence, and now they want another fight.
They're going towards Banderas, sending more than 2 members this time around. The Tidal Wave might catch him up to Gangplank Ultimate 2, as it looks like Abagnale is just going to go for the full retreat, but Banderas has fallen, and that's a lot of tanks that is going down. Eminence in the backline, looks towards Azator, never finds Azator, as Never has to flash away, but the Aurelia is running rampant. Azator needs to keep retreating, looking towards Venza, will be able to get the kill, but he's the only member surviving. Aero dives away. Eminence is playing Warden. Could that be it for JDXL?
Absolutely. JDXL ran down the entirety of NYYRIKKI right there. Only Aero survives. He will not have the ultimate. Does he have what it takes to clear this wave and actually help his team survive a little bit longer, because there's 4 members of JDXL running him down?
They're just chasing him down towards those turrets. Aero flashing away, needs trying to out the minions, and so many members of JDXL, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. It was valiant, it was stalwart, but JDXL, it doesn't matter how well they play, because they win the League of Legends as they take their 5th win and destroy NYYRIKKI's Nexus.
Whew. Okay, I think we set it up really well at the start of the day, right?